Hi friends, how you doing? So today I want to talk about something kind of random, and that is why I like to carry gemstones with me. And I imagine most of y'all have some connection to gemstones. They're crystals. Um, they're pretty popular in sort of our new age infected modern consciousness, but they really are powerful. Um, Just a couple ways of thinking about it, right? Like a gemstone is a mineral. It's a crystal in the sense that the geometry is repeating over and over again. So it has a sort of very pure construction. There's a lot of things I could say about gemstones or crystals. And like I said, they've become kind of popular, right? So every city that I've ever been in has got a couple new age shops and stuff where you can go and get some crystals. And Austin is no exception, of course. We've got a whole bunch of them, but there's one huge one that's like a warehouse of gemstones, basically, called Nature's Treasures. And man, it's kind of a trip to go there. If you're ever in Austin, I recommend it. And then we've got smaller stores like Crystal Works, for instance. That place is even more awesome, in my opinion, because it's more like a tiny little shop that's just loaded with gemstones. And of course, the reason people would carry them around or use them in a magical context or a meditation context is because they believe, as I do, that gemstones have certain qualities to them. That each different type of gemstone promotes a certain area of mental states or of emotional states. They have energy, right? And some people act like the gemstone itself, like the object, has this energy that it's giving or radiating. That might be the case, but the way I like to see it is more so that the way the gemstone's geometric shape interacts with the shape of our consciousness allows there to be an arising of a certain state of mind. It's kind of like music. Like if you're um, if you're really tired or don't have a lot of energy, you can listen to like music with a driving dance beat, right? And that will promote a state of energy. It's not as if the song itself is radiating. Well, maybe it is, but one way of looking at it would be to say that the song itself is radiating energy and that you're taking the energy from that song. Or but it's also just it's resonating with you, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And that's the way I like to think about gemstones and explain to myself why they are they're so beautiful and they have such an impact on how we feel, can have an impact on how we feel. And that also kind of explains why some people will just like buy a gemstone thinking it's going to solve a problem or something, or give them a certain type of energy. That's one way of going about it. But in my opinion, it's more realistic and more helpful to see the gemstone as a tool or something that you work with. As with everything I talk about, it's about the relationship. You're building a relationship with this specific gemstone, and it's working with you to help you with a certain problem or bestow a certain energy upon you. Um, yeah, and one of the reasons I like talking about these things is to sort of um, reduce the amount of magical thinking and explain, but to actually explain it in a way that makes a little bit more sense, that allows for the rational mind to participate in the felt experience of magical, mysterious things. For me, that's really important. It's what I do with myself, and a lot of people have thanked me for talking in this way, or appreciated me talking in this way. So the reason that I thought about talking about gemstones today is because I had a nice experience recently. I was at my favorite grocery store, and I ran into a friend that I haven't seen in a long time. And I actually had been thinking about him a couple of days prior, and then I just ran into him. So it was a nice little synchronistic meeting. And it was great. I got to talk to him about some things I've been thinking about, where his daughter's at in life, especially. He had a very young daughter that I knew a while ago when I first met him, and she's just been having this great, beautiful trajectory through life with lots of successes. And so I wondered what she was up to, and it was really nice to hear him sort of brag or gush about his daughter, but in a great way, because I'd invited it. I really wanted to hear about it. Anyway, beautiful interaction. But one of the things that came up in our conversation was gemstones, because randomly in our conversation he reached into his pocket and pulled out one of his gemstones and said, "Hey, have you ever seen this before?" And he gave it to me, and it was this really beautiful hexagonal, tiny, maybe about this thick, and then overall it was just like this or something you hold in your hand, fit easily in the palm of your hand, little ruby. And it was very rough, not beautifully polished, just like a nice rough, maybe even including a little bit of matrix on it or something. But it, and hopefully you know what I'm talking about, but gemstones don't have to be polished and shiny. They can be very, very rough. Can be really cool too. But anyway, so he gave me he handed me a gemstone or two, one, and I really felt with it and appreciated it for a minute, and kind of cycled my energy with it and gave it back to him. And then he brought in another one that was a sapphire, and while we were talking for a couple of minutes, I held the sapphire and I was like, man, I really like this one. This is really cool. And then when I handed it back to him, he was like, whoa, you really heated this one up. And he meant body heat, because I had been holding it not super tightly, but it was in my hand, in the sort of energetic spot of my hand. But also he felt the energy that I had put into the stone. Just not that I was sitting there like putting energy into the stone. No, just that I was appreciating the gemstone and having an experience with it. And I handed it back to him, and he noticed, like, wow, okay, so it's kind of cool. It reminded me about gemstones. So I'm gonna make this video 10 minutes like usual, but quickly I'll show you. I guess I'll have to talk more about gemstones in the future, but quickly I'll show you a couple of gemstones that I like to carry around. This one right here is this nice right angle little piece of malachite. Let's see, can you focus well? Did I tap the screen, will it focus more? So anyway, yeah, all right, well, cool. So this nice green stone, this malachite. Malachite is a really cool one. I think there's a copper in there that gives it the sort of streaky lines. I forget the mineral information. A lot of times I don't remember the mineral information. But if you're able to see this stone really clearly, it has like sort of a divot in it, and that's because I've been using this stone as a pocket rock for, I don't know, like 15 years or something. But I just hold it in my hand like this. Let's see. Hold it in my hand like this and rub my thumb over it like that, and just to sort of participate with its energy. And I recommend, if you don't, grab a couple of gemstones. Go to the gemstone stores nearby you, or when you take a vacation to Arizona or something, check it out. Because having them in your pocket and working with them is just so nice. It's such a sort of stress reliever, and even if you don't think there's any, this one's carnelian, type of agate, really nice fiery stone. I love this one. Again, I got this one because I can handle it comfortably. But even if you don't think that there's anything esoteric or mystical about it, they're just really beautiful. Anyway, that's enough for today. I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.